Hi guys, welcome back to MyTrickRC. I'm Dan. Today I'm going to walk you through the installation of this Bronco lighting kit. We did a video before. It was kind of more animated, had little characters in it stuff. But the feedback we got from that is that people wanted a little bit more of a detailed, in-depth installation video, especially as it pertains to the wiring and connections and such. So we'll do a quick overview of how we installed the lighting kit into this truck and show you also how to do exactly the electrical connections and whatnot. The kit comes with high power, adjustable brightness, headlights, front markers, side markers, front and rear, tail lights in the back and reverse. Very expandable. You can add tons of lights to it. You can add a bunch of rock lights. We're working on a spotlight based light bar. Has 6 spotlights up here. It looks totally awesome. As well as if you wanted to add bumpers, lights in your bumper or grill or whatever. Alright, so let's take a look and see what's included in this kit and what kind of tools you'll need to do the installation. At the heart of the system is the Dragon controller. Connected to the controller are all of the power connections and servo cables that you're going to need to get the functions. So everything is automatically included in there. We also have tail lights, front markers, and then this guy here is one connector to 4 LEDs. This does all of the side markers on one cable. We're actually going to need to connect all 3 of these cables together down to one connector, so that's why we need this 3-way adapter. It's going to plug into each one of those and then into a single port onto the Dragon controller. We also have reverse lights and some 3D printed little brackets. These hold in the orange LEDs for the front markers. The headlights, these are the Attack high power headlights, and they include these little gaskets or adhesive stickers. You'll want to use those. These are very important. These kind of help take heat away from the LED. The LED does get pretty warm when it's functioning, and these help to keep it cooled down a little bit. As far as tools go, you'll want some cutters to cut zip ties. These zip ties are basically to tidy up the cables, but you'll want some cutters to cut those. Tape is a nice way to wrap the wires and have it come out with a nicer finished look, so we do definitely recommend. This is just some black masking tape that we picked up on Amazon, and you'll need an Allen wrench with a 2mm end on it to get into the receiver box to do all the electrical connections. To install the LEDs, Traxxas already designed in snaps in every location where an LED is located. That goes for the side markers as well as the tail light and the reverse light. They're challenging to press in. The snaps are really stiff, but you just gotta really press it hard. It will go, and once they're in there, they're very secure. Okay, so the next step was to remove the grill. We took 4 screws out, or actually I believe it was 6 screws, including the ones down here. And the grill, which looks like this, is made of multiple pieces. There's a reflector that has little stickers on there, as you can see. What we did is we used the stickers as a guide, and using a hand Dremel or hand drill, we drill these holes. This one is approximately 1/8 of an inch, or 1/4 of an inch. This one is approximately 1/8 of an inch. You can drill these with a drill, but I think you get a better cut on the sticker if you use a sharp pointed tool like this. Once we drilled these holes, then we went ahead and we placed it into the grill, and I'm gonna have to move the camera to get a better position. Once we drill the hole in here, we can use that as a guide to then drill the hole, a matching hole, in our body. And we use the same reamer to drill the hole. We do this one and make sure this one, we have one here as well. We can now reassemble the grill. Now that the grill is tightened back, let's take a look at how we install the front running light and the headlight. The running light, this little guy right here, has the little 3D printed bezel on it. The one that looks like this, we cut it off, we slipped it on there with the textured surface outwards, and this has a little hole in it, and we're going to reuse the screw that we took out of there. We're going to put that back in place. So we'll slide this LED into the hole that we drilled, and the other hole should line up with the little bracket. Let's try the other screw here. All right. And we're just going to go ahead and tighten that. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Tighten that guy down. So that's going to clamp the front running light in place while also holding the grill in place. With the headlight, we took the little adhesive stickers that came with the headlights. We trimmed it a little bit so that it would sit in here properly. And you can see it maybe a little bit better on this side with it already installed. The trimmed side was here because there's a little boss in the way. All right, so that's how the headlight should look. The front side markers should look like this with that little screw in there. And that's how you install the headlights in the front markers. Next, we took this 3-way Y splitter and we plugged all of the running lights into it. So that's the front markers, the rear tail lights, and all of the side marker lights. As far as connections go to the Dragon, you want to take all of the running lights, connect them all together into one port and plug it into port F. Port E is for the reverse lights, and port A is for the headlights. You can plug any high-powered attack light into any of the black ports. So you can add rock lights, light bars on top, front lights. You can add a whole bunch of lights. And you can use the Y cables on these ports as well if you want to add more lights to specific ports. Ports A and B turn on all 3 levels of brightness, but ports D and C and D only turn on at the highest level of brightness. That way you could do kind of like a low beam, high beam, and then all of your lights on. That was kind of our thinking behind that feature. And as far as adjusting the brightness control, the mode button is right here. It's on a little tether, so once the Dragon is installed into the body, you can locate this into a convenient location so that you can access it and get to the adjustment readily. All right, let's take a look and see how it's installed into our body. On our body, we put the Dragon controller on the side, on the, I guess this is the driver's side, right by the wheel well. You still have to lift the body off to access it, but it's probably the most easily accessible place that we could think of. The Dragon controller also comes with this really handy quick disconnect. This is totally waterproofed. It allows you to easily connect and disconnect the chassis from the body. The Dragon controller overall is waterproof. The connections, you would probably want to protect them. If they get wet, you want to blow them out, but all of the electronics here are protected. The switch is protected. The LEDs are tolerant to the water. So yeah, that's the basic installation. Let's take a look at the wiring into the chassis. Taking a look at this half of the Dragon cable, what we have is we have a power adapter. This is interchangeable. For many people who run standard batteries with Dean's connectors on them or other connectors that have conventional balance ports, you can tap power directly off of this. In the case of Traxxas, if you're running the Traxxas batteries, we sell a Traxxas adapter. So this guy would just essentially replace this. your battery plugs into here, or actually, sorry, this plugs into your battery, and then your vehicle can plug in this way. You leave it connected, you don't ever have to take it off once it's on. It's kind of convenient. And actually it's necessary if you're going to run it with the Traxxas batteries. These are the two servo cables. This would be for third channel on-off switching. Unfortunately, that's not supported with the TRX platform, but we do have reverse light function. So we are going to use this cable, and the kit also includes this little Y splitter. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to plug this in together. Well, actually not quite yet, but when you do plug it in together, you're going to want to make sure about the orientation of these connectors are both facing the same direction. So you'll plug it together, and then we're going to unplug the motor servo cable, and then we're going to plug it into here, and then we're going to plug this into the motor servo port on the receiver. Okay, we removed the covers to our receiver, and we're going to unbundle these wires a little bit. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take these two servo cables and feed them through like so. We're going to feed this one first. They usually feed through pretty well. It may take a little work. Yeah, that one went through. Okay. And there you go. That wasn't too bad. Okay, so with these fed through, now let's take this cable, again making sure the orientation is correct, and get the position correct. Okay, so that's plugged together. Now we're going to take the second one over is the motor servo. That's channel 2, and we want to make sure the connectors should be facing the same way, which means the white wires should be on the same side. Looks like they are. Okay, now these two are connected together. Now let's take it and plug this back into channel 2, like so. All right, looks pretty good. Let's take our power adapter. We're gonna add this on. So this is sold separately. This isn't in the kit. If you're gonna run the Traxxas batteries, then you would need this to work with it. Okay, that looks pretty good. And now we can apply power. All right, let's grab the body and connect it. Takes a minute for it to come on. What it's doing, it's looking at the battery to see what battery is connected to it. The controller, the Dragon controller, will automatically then adjust its LiPo over discharge protect circuit. It'll match the battery and make sure that you don't over discharge your battery because of the lighting system. All right, it looks like it's on and it's working. We can press the button and it looks like we can scroll through the different modes. All right, well, let's take a look at this from outside perspective. It looks like everything is working pretty good. We do need to test it with the remote. We need to make sure we have reverse lights. There may be 2 steps to setting up the reverse lights. There's a setting that needs to be checked on this controller, and then there's also one setting that needs to be done on the speed controller of the TRX. Okay, so let's do a quick test. Let's go through the modes. Okay, the first mode, by the way, is running lights. So both front, side markers, and rear would be on. And it looks like we have our reverse lights are on too. So let's take a look at that. If we look at the controller, what we want to do is we want to press and hold the mode button for 3 seconds. And what it'll do is it's going to change the function of output E. And you can see here they got brighter. Okay, let's try that again. They went to dim. Try it again. Okay, now they're off. Off is how they should be for reverse light function. So let's take a look here. Now it should be off. And reverse, forward, Good. There we go. There is one setting that may need to be done to the TRX itself on the speed controller. Let's zoom in real quick and take a look at that. The last step is to make sure that the TRX4 is set to crawl mode. That way the reverse lights will activate at the correct time. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to turn it on, and then we're going to hold this button down, and we're going to just keep holding it, and it's going to start blinking. So it blink 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 4, 5. That's the one we want. Now it should be set to crawl mode, and that should be it. We can put the covers back on, button it back up, and take it out for a test run. Okay guys, I think that's a wrap. The kit is fully installed, it's all operational. We've got our reverse lights functioning. Everything went pretty smoothly. We would normally estimate installation time to be about 30 minutes plus or minus. The system is fully waterproof and very expandable. You can add the rock lights. We have two different versions of rock lights, one with 4 rock lights versus 8 rock lights. So whichever one you want to go with. And that's pretty much it. So hope you liked the video. If you did, definitely give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to us and check out our Facebook and Instagram pages as well. And all right, we'll see you next time. Thanks.